Some familiarity with Fresco, the base game, will be helpful while watching this video. Fresco Expansion 2 includes modules 8, 9, and 10, and is included in the Fresco Big Box. You may add all modules to the base game in any combination you like. Module 8, the bells, affects the planning and performing of actions. During the planning phase, each player now has the option of applying for an audience with the bishop. To do so, he must cover one location on his action sheet with the audience action tile. No apprentice is needed for this action. When performing this action, a player has two options. The player pays the full price, scores the listed amount of victory points immediately on the score track on the main game board, and then places the certificate face down in front of his large screen. Or a player can buy the certificate in installments. To do this, he places the certificate face up in front of his large screen, places any amount he chooses on the certificate, and scores one victory point for each 2 thalers placed on the bell certificate. Again, these points are scored on the main game board. At the end of the game, each player adds the golden bells on all bell certificates he owns. If he has any partially paid certificates, he subtracts the golden bells on them from his total. He then places one of his apprentices on the corresponding space on the bell scoring track. Then add any unsold certificates and place the bishop on the bell track. Victory points are awarded for first, second, and third place on this track. The bishop counts as a player, so he too can be in first, second, or third place, in effect stealing points away from any player that is behind him on the track. Finally, transfer these victory points to the main scoring track. Module 9 adds wall frescoes to the game. This module affects the planning and performing of actions as well as the workshop. Place the wall fresco board next to the game board and cover it with the wall fresco tiles. During the planning phase, a player now has the option of restoring the wall fresco. To do so, he must cover one location on his action sheet with the wall fresco action tile. Only one apprentice can be placed on this tile. Unlike the ceiling fresco, the wall fresco must be restored contiguously. To restore a section, the player returns the required paint on the selected tile to the general supply and scores 4 victory points. Take the restored tile and place it in front of your screen. A player earns income from the basic paint shown on the tiles. During the workshop phase, an apprentice may exchange 2 wall fresco tiles for 1 exchange tile. Module 10, the Medico, affects the planning and performing of actions at the market, the theater, the cathedral, studio, and workshop. This module includes 1 Medico board, medicine bottles, black apprentice pawns, infection tiles, Medico at the market action tiles, reference cards, and a covering tile. After players have planned their actions, reveal the top infection tile from the stack and place it at the corresponding location before players perform any actions. This location is now infected. Players then perform their actions. Players who have deployed at least 1 apprentice in an infected area replace their apprentice with a black apprentice. Ill apprentices cannot be deployed to the market, theater, or the Medico board at the market. In addition, ill apprentices are handicapped at the following locations: cathedral, studio, and workshop. This can affect scoring, income, and work output. If a player deploys healthy and ill apprentices to the same location, the apprentices perform their actions. Then all healthy apprentices at this location become infected. It takes an action to buy medicine at the market. A player may only have 2 bottles of medicine at a time. After the last player has performed his final action, a player can decide to heal their apprentices. Green bottles contain an elixir that heals ill apprentices. Bottles contain 1 to 3 portions of elixir. Red bottles contain raspberry juice that doesn't heal ill apprentices, but does improve the master's mood. Move the master painter's pawn at the theater up 1 space. This module introduces an alternate game end condition. If only one infection tile remains on the Medico board at the start of a round, this is the final game round. When scoring money at game's end, each player is credited 5 thalers for each apprentice of their color not standing on the Medico board.